Alright, so it will be a long ride here. Not that much, but it definitely will be a long ride, but it's worth it. So here are the sections that we're going to have. The first section is the introduction to DALL-E2, and those are the lectures. So if you're really keen on wanting to know what's going on in here and what are we going to present to you. And this is section number 2. Now by far section number 2 has around 6 lectures, but it's by far not the most voluminous section because we have section 3 that contains 10 lectures. So this is the biggest and the advanced, in which I'm going to teach you some advanced techniques on how to use DALL-E2. And in section number 4, we're going to discuss how to sell your online designs, and we're going to discuss where you can go to sell it. Section 5 will just be a final thoughts, and I'm going to give you some final tips for success. So let's get right to it right now, and I want to take a moment to welcome you into this world, into my world. Now, these are just some examples of the AI art that I was able to generate with AI, including Midjourney. Now, here, not every design that you can see here was generated using Midjourney, and not every design was generated using DALL-E, but these are just some of the applications that you can use artificial intelligence and precisely image generation software to do. Now, most people take it so lightly, but it turns out that the guys that are taking this seriously and are finding ways in which they can be profitable using these AI tools are the people that are thriving right now on the web. So you might just as well go ahead and try to find a way, just like what I'm showing you right now. You have a lot of applications for AI art. For example, here we have this pattern of frogs that I've used Midjourney to generate. It's basically a tile that has some tiny frogs and a green background, and you can see most of the beautiful applications of this. Now, these designs were generated using Redbubble. Over here, when I talk about Redbubble, it's the mockups. So these are mockups that I generated using Redbubble, in which you can go to sell these designs. Now, here are some other interesting designs that could be suitable for print on demand, right? So this one here is in Picasso style, 3 dragons in Picasso style, and you can see there how creative this is. Also here, for gaming purposes, if you are a game creator, you would have a lot to do with this. A lot of people are already using this and incorporating it. Now here, a very beautiful image that I think very difficult to produce by yourself, or very difficult for a human being to produce, and yet contains a lot of depth. Now, here are some other applications that I had fun with producing. These beautiful, lovely robots that I used for my images, my course images. Here is another application of AI images. Now you can see Hercules there. Yes, that's Hercules, even though he looks like a skinny Hercules, but that's Hercules. And by the way, this is in Roman style art, and it's a painting. So this is something that you could do as well. You could sell these as paintings on platforms like Etsy. Your designs could make good paintings, and people are really interested in stuff like this. Now, here are some other interesting designs as well. This is interesting, because this was produced using Midjourney, and this is a metal polish. You can also use Midjourney to create some wood carvings. Now, by far, this is one of the most interesting things you're going to see over here. Now have a look at this image. Now this is an image, this is a sculpture by Leonardo, or a sculpture of Leonardo da Vinci. Okay, so somebody sculpted this, or maybe himself, I don't know. But this is just an image that I found on the web. I don't know exactly the history of this image, but it has something to do with Leonardo da Vinci. It can be him. Now, have a look at what DALL-E can do. Now this is DALL-E2, not Midjourney, but have a look at what DALL-E2 can do. Now this is the image, and see what I use DALL-E2 to do. I used DALL-E2 to generate the other part of the image, the other half that was missing. You can see the image as it is right now, and you can see how it is here. Now we have generated the other half of the face. Now here's also what I could do. I could create an entirely different landscape based on one image. Here's where we started. Here's the second iteration. the third iteration, and we have a bigger image, bigger landscape. Other interesting stuff is you can change even the face. Have a look at the face here, both faces, and have a look at it here. Now you can upload your own image of your own self on this this tool, and you can take your face off or remove your face and add a new face on your face. So you can see over here, this is pretty interesting stuff that you can do, that you can accomplish. 2 different faces. I can even change the face of an image. That's such is the power of AI. Now, we have some other interesting images that I worked on, and trust me, these took me around 20 minutes each because I have to wait. You have to wait before it generates the other parts of the image. But here's an image that I used, and this is what the result was at the beginning. This is how it started. Now, by the way, this is a stock photo that I have not purchased, but I have just downloaded from Unsplash. And here's what I turned it into. I turned it into a completely different image. I took this image and I turned it into this. Now, by the way, you can do a lot of creative stuff with DALL-E. Now, here's another image. Now, interestingly, this image was generated by Midjourney. So I took this image, I generated it from Midjourney, and then I used DALL-E because DALL-E has a predictive model and you can create variations and you can expand upon an image, which is a feature that doesn't exist in Midjourney, at least not yet. And see what I've done here. I took an image and I just expanded upon it, made it bigger, more realistic. Now, here are some other interesting things here. These are some beautiful stickers. And by the way, if you're looking at this, there is a huge market for stickers, especially when it comes to creating low content books with these, because I created a lot of low content books in my life. And there was a point in time before AI, before any of this, before DALL-E2, before Midjourney, I had to purchase those. I had to go to platforms such as Creative Fabrica and pay for a subscription in order to be able to download these and use them on my books, on my low content children's books. Now with these tools, there is no need for it. All you have to do is to use these tools to generate such stuff. And the beautiful thing is that if you know what you're doing, you wouldn't have any problems with copyright because these images are created from your own imagination. So nobody could file a suit or sue you one day saying that you're infringing copyrights or that you're using their designs for commercial purposes. So even when it comes to copyright, this is better. Now, in the next lecture, we're going to go through the benefits of DALL-E2 before moving to section number 2, in which we're going to get started with our first prompt on the platform, and I'm going to show you how to navigate the platform with success. See you there. And please, this is very early before you can leave a review, so if Udemy asks you to leave a review, or if Skillshare or whatever platform you're watching this course from asks you to leave a review at this particular point, please just move on. If you want to leave a review, you can go ahead, but I feel like this is very, very early on before you can tell if this course is worth it or not, because there's a lot of content coming. So make sure that you keep watching until you had your fill, until you're able to basically just give a proper feedback, and do not hesitate to tell us exactly what we did wrong and also maybe what we did right, because we're all about improving your experience and improving your learning. So see you in the next lecture.